in the Philippines as well as in New York. He actually obtained his Juris Doctor degree in Ateneo de Manila University School of Law and ranked third in 2008 bar examinations. He pursued his master's in intellectual property law at the prestigious New York University, and he is also a resident partner of Gulapa and Baclay LLP based in Manhattan, New York. Accompanying him are associates of Gulapa and Lim Law, both honor graduates of the Ateneo de Manila University School of Law, attorneys Jocelyn Teresco and Brad Ford.
Wala ba kayong mga kamay? Thank you for that very short thank you once again to our friend in the media and our bloggers. Thank you for being present here, because your presence here really is instrumental in helping us disclose the truth. Three preliminaries first before we begin. First is I'm going to give a very brief background of the case and what happened. Second, we will try to accommodate as much as possible all of your questions. But if the question relates to a matter of legal strategy and may affect the outcome of the case, please do decline to answer that question. But please do hold on to your questions, because we will answer those after the trial, if this case goes into trial. And last, I think most of you, this is the first time that we've met each other. Probably because I'm a shy type of guy, not in front of the camera. Yes. So that may be the reason. So, you're having all of those settled. Let's roll and brace yourself from a shy type of guy. No? So, about August of last year, August 2023, there was an outrageous and loathsome defamatory remark published by Miss Claire Eden Contreras, who also introduces herself as a harlota. These defamatory statements were repeated multiple times on an almost monthly or even weekly basis. As time goes by, the attacks against Mr. Abel Bacudio became more rabid. There were various defamatory and outrageous allegations against Mr. Abel. But three themes kept repeating. And these are, first, that Mr. Abel Bacudio allegedly gave a luxury timepiece to no other than Philippine Representative Ferdinand Alexander Araneta Marcos. Second, that Abel allegedly received kickbacks from DPWH projects. And third, that Abel and Abel's family received their Schengen visa through fraud, obtained their Schengen visa through fraud, and which fraud was made through the assistance of Philippine First Lady Marie-Louise Araneta Marcos. We categorically denied all of those allegations, and we shall prove in a court of law that those are all false. We filed the case in California before the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California, and we also demanded a jury trial. Partida lahat. Kasi sinasabi nila na kung dito daw lang yung case, maluluto. This will be a jury trial, and the facts of the case will be determined by citizens of various walks of life, ordinary citizens. Ito natin papatunayan. Aside from those three main allegations, there are other outrageous, loathsome, and categorical attacks, character assassination attacks against Mr. Abel Bacudio. However, we shall present our proof during trial. To be the victim, or to be the victim of by saying that someone is engaged in corruption is serious. The desire to rid our society of corruption is universal. So when you are the victim of an allegation, of a false allegation, that you are engaged in corruption, normally and naturally, the society will frown upon you. So the Abel's image has been severely damaged. At times, there were threats against the safety of Abel. And character assassination, or when your reputation is ruined, the damage does not end with you alone. We know, long after you're gone, if your reputation is damaged, you will still suffer that. And this suffering transcends generation. Pati yung mga anak nyo, pag nasiraan kayo ng reputasyon, magsasuffer then.
Correct.
So the categorical attacks here are no question are willful and malicious. And with that, we are now ready to answer your questions. Any questions from our friend in the press?
Please feel free to raise your hand if there are any questions. We are more than glad to answer them. Yes, ma'am.
Ano-ano pong kaso ang inyong ipa-file?
Yung na-file na po, hindi lang ipa-file. Na-file na po.
Na-file
weeks
na.
ago. It's an action for defamation in the US, which is a very serious offense in the US. The US society frowns upon persons who are engaged in defamation because they cherish the value that one's good name should be protected. So, for example, just 2 weeks ago, there was a huge verdict. There is a series of huge verdicts in the US just recently. 2 weeks ago, there was a verdict against Mr. Trump, for no less than a former president of the US. The jury awarded an award of $83 million, $65 million in punitive damages, and around $18.3 million in actual damages. So if we see this value, we know that the American society is serious, that you cannot just ruin the reputation of someone else. And in this case, it will be the US society which will decide the case. Yes?
Kailan po kaya yung possible na mag-i-start na yung hearing?
Possible na mag-start yung hearing. We have here, the court already issued a summons. And in that summons, it states within 21 days from receipt of the summons, the defendant must answer. Yes, sir.
In case na magkaroon ng guilty verdict, ano yung magiging penalty nito base sa US law?
In the US law, unlike here no defamation title, there's a statutory penalty for imprisonment or fine. In the US, there's no statutory penalty, but the jury will decide what will be the amount of damage. So another huge verdict which happened just last year, the amount was $1.1 billion in the case of against Alex Jones.
Follow-up question. Yung penalty ba is based on the personality of the aggrieved party? Because I know Abel is known as an international fashion designer, right? So
Yes, sir.
correct.
That will be taken into consideration.
Oh.
The amount of damage that was suffered by the victim, of course, will also depend upon his stature in life. Because if you are high net worth individual, definitely the value that the damage that you will suffer will also be more.
Pero lang di ba, dito sa Pilipinas, meron po ba tayong file na kaso?
As of now, none. There's no case yet, but we will not discount that possibility.
Sa US lang po sa ngayon.
As of now, yes.
Thank you po.
Yes.
Tatanong ko lang po kung ano kayo yung duration nito na yung para matapos yung kaso, yung trial, tapos para mabigyan na siya ng kaparusahan.
Yung kaparusahan po, that will depend on the so it will depend on, just like the adage goes, who is in the defendant's court. Depende po yung sa moves nila, because they can file an answer or they can delay and choose to delay to receive the summons, or in most US cases, these are actually resolved amicably even before the case goes to trial. Maybe 70% of the cases in the US are settled amicably. So it will depend. But assuming that we will go into full jury trial, maybe that will take 3 years. There's another famous case, the Amber Heard case, that's also a defamation case. So that was the trial was finished in 2 to 3 years.
What if po hindi siya mag-respond o hindi siya makapag-cooperate dito po sa kaso na pinahil sa kanya?
So that's also a possibility that the court will issue a judgment by default. If it's a default, the rules in the US and here in the Philippines are similar. All allegations in the complaint will be deemed admitted. Pareho lang po ang US Federal Rules on Evidence and the Philippine Rules of Civil Procedure and the evidence. If there's no answer, then all allegations of the complaint will be deemed admitted. And now we will go to the determination of monetary award phase. The jury will determine how much will be awarded to the victim.
Attorney, question lang po. Di ba si Katulini, nag-file din po siya ng kaso. Hindi kaya possible din na pwedeng mag-join force sila ni Abel para mas maganda yung kaso?
Joint force, legally speaking, ma'am, they have different causes of actions, different set of facts. It cannot be included in one case, and we already filed a case. But if that's what you mean by joint forces, that one action, they are the plaintiff complaint in one action, that won't be legally possible. But when you say joint force, that they share resources, or they share possible evidence, the evidence, that's really a possibility, and that depends on the fact.
Attorney, if the respondent po is found guilty, meron bang imprisonment na kalaki?
In the US, defamation case is civil in nature. By itself, there's no imprisonment.
Civil.
But it is possible that in a defamation case, the court will also issue a bench warrant. And I won't disclose now how it can happen because I may be opening my cards for the defendant, but that's a possibility.
Okay, magkakilala ba kayo personally ni Maharlika? Or kasi saan pinagagalingan ng paninira niya sa'yo, yung pagtawag niya sa'yo ng kung ano mali?
Actually, hi, Benji. Actually, nagkakilala kami because of the campaign. Tapos, because pareho kami yung paniniwala, pareho kami yung sinusuportahan. So, and then, nagkaroon kami ng communication. No, bigla na lang nagbago, hindi ko alam. Well, nakukwento ko sa kanya yung, kasi she stay in my condo because of the nung election and then campaign. Nagkukwentuhan kami about buhay-buhay. So doon nga po lumabas yung, syempre nung bata pa ako, yung parang sabi ko, nako, ang hirap ng buhay, walang pambayad sa kuryente, parang ganon. Tapos, yun, siguro yun ang nilalabas niya ngayon. Pero that's my story before. Siyempre, iba na ngayon. So, yun, hindi ko alam kung saan ang gagaling talaga yung kanyang gato.
So, kailan kayo nagkaroon ng follow-up? Kailan kayo officially parang hindi na kaibigan or umalis?
Last, I think 2003, noong August. August? 2023 August. Yun, doon na yung parang, okay. So, parang, ako naman as a fashion designer, may mga ginagawa kasi ako doon lang talaga. So I'm a fashion designer, hindi ko ako politikang tao. So medyo hindi lang ako komportable kasi iba yung pinag-uusapan ngayon. Kung pag-uusapan ito sa pagiging isang designer, okay ako. Ito kasi politika at saka medyo hindi naman ako yon. Kaya kay attorney na po yung bahala.
Ano pong naramdaman nyo nung nilabas niya yung mga statements niya against you? Ano po unang reaction nyo?
Siyempre medyo nakakalungkot kasi sabi nga niya BFF. So nakakalungkot pero ako naman sabi nga ng aking pamilya, yung aking sister, yung parang ipagdasal na lang natin. Kaya lang medyo ngayon may mga naapekto ng tao na hindi dapat kasama dito. Na parang nadadamay sila. Siyempre, of course, the first family is nadadamay. Hindi naman kami masyadong client ko lang sila as a designer. So medyo nakakahiya rin sa parte nila.
Possible po ba na ma-take down yung YouTube channel ni Meriden Contreras?
YouTube channel, the entire YouTube channel. That's possible, but not likely, because in the US, they have a very strong First Amendment right. First Amendment right is the freedom of speech, and they don't they frown upon prior restraint. Yung prior restraint po yung wala kang sasabihin, ipigilan na natin. They will allow you to speak. However, if you speak and that's injurious or tortuous to another, then they will really hold you accountable. That's really a policy and the values of the US.
Attorney, tanong ko lang po kung how many % po kaya ang ating dito sa kaso na masisigurado natin na panalo ang kaso natin? Ilang porsyento po?
In my life, it's my policy never to say 100% because there are things outside of our control. So, kung sure ako, I'm sure ko is actually 99.99%. And in this case, I'm saying 99.99%.
So panalo na tayo, attorney.
99.99 because, jury yung
Parang girls
decide
lang,
and,
Attorney, ayaw niyo pang sabihin ng 100% eh. Ganon din yun.
99 lang talaga yan because as they say, there's nothing sure in life. But if you are going to assess the case now, yung tatlong sinabi ko kanina, simple lang actually yun eh. Nagbigay ba ng relo, ng luxury timepiece niya? It's very easy to prove or disprove. And also the visa. The visa actually is very easy to prove. So, if the visa was issued fraudulently. There are other allegations and we intentionally did not include that in the complaint as a matter of legal strategy. Kasi sometimes half-truths or taken out of context. Kaya nga nung nasabi ni Evan, dati daw, walang pambayad ng kuryente, at less than a year, nung nakaupo si PBBM, then nakabili na ng bahay. Normally, I would not disclose this in this early phase of the litigation. But para pagbigyan ko po kayo kung anong ibig sabihin yun. Yes, dati walang pambayad po si Abel ng kuryente. But gaano dati? Dati yun, when he was still young, in buhay ka Marina Sur. He is proud to say, during that time, talagang wala silang pambayad ng kuryente. Pero hindi yung dati na before PBBM start, naghihigirap siya kasi na-consultation daw yan. That's definitely not true. And it's very easy to prove that. Wala na-miss na bill payments. We can go to that. Wala na-miss na bill payments si Abel. Okay, that's one. Number two, may nabili daw na bahay worth 26 billion. Paano nung pagka-intindi ko niya? Because suddenly, pumangkap ng pera at may pagbiliran.
Actually, ganun po talaga.
Yeah, because it was presented out of context. Nabili yung bahay ng installment, low down payment, low interest. So if you look at it that way, 30 years to pay, then suddenly you will see, ay, ano naman yan? Within normal range naman that, kahit that's acceptable. That's within the range, no? It was purchased using loan. And if you view it that way, parang makikita mo, walang pangangamdam. We will present this to a jury. You know very well na ganyan yan, hindi yan 26 million na nilabas biglaan. But how come hindi mo ni sinabi yon? Then we can say that the intent was clearly malicious and it was willful to damage the good reputation of a person.
Si Maharlika po ba, hindi natin po kasi sure. Is she an American citizen? Ano po ba ang status po niya sa US?
We do not have a power to determine or to have a statement from the US government. But according to her, she is an American citizen and she is no longer, according to her, she is no longer a Filipino citizen. She denounced her Filipino citizenship, according to her.
Abel, question po for Abel. Abel, may personal akong tanong sa'yo. Totoo ba na sa kagaya ng ini-issue ni Maharlika sa'yo na binigyan mo ba talaga si Sandro Marcos ng Rolex?
Baka ako ang bibigyan. Dun sa statement ko po, we categorically deny that statement. Yung three main topics that she keeps repeating. First, the luxury timepiece was given to Philippine Representative Ferdinand Alexander Marcos. We categorically deny that. Kasi yung three.
Well, question. Kasi di ba naging magkaibigan kayo ni Maharlika? Tumira sa condo mo, aking sundo, di ba? Alam na lahat. What urged you to do this action? Considering na naging magkaibigan kayo.
Actually, for the past few months, parang ayoko talaga. Kasi nga parang focus ako sa ginagawa ko as a designer. Pero mas may naaapektuhan kasi mga like my family, na my niece, and then my sister, and my brother-in-law na hindi naman kasama dito na maayos sila namumuhay at maayos kami namumuhay. In-accept ko siya bilang kaibigan. Actually, yun, katulad ng sinabi mo nga, pinihisan din. Pero sa isang iglap, nagbago talaga yung lahat. So, ako naman yung tao na parang takot kami sa Diyos. So, ipagdadasal namin hanggang katapusan ng buhay. Kaya lang ito talagang maraming tao na nadadamay. Na my family, the first family. So, parang nakakahiya rin sa mga taong nakapaligid sa akin. So, I think this is about time na parang sasabihin ko rin sa inyo na talagang lahat ng sinasabi niya ay hindi totoo.
May question lang ako, Abel. Yung bang mga sinusuot na nagaling sa inyo, libre ba yun?
Yung mga una is binibigay ko.
Ano?
And then, yung iba naman is may mga nag-o-order. Pero, konti lang yung mga nag-order sa kanya. Mga apat, mga ganun. Pero yung mga sinusuot niya like yung inauguration, tapos yung mga sinusuot niyang campaign, binibigay ko talaga yun. Kasi gano'n naman ako
Sana
bilang
all.
kaibigan.
Tanong lang, yung suot ng inauguration, magkano yung price nun? Kasi gusto ko na magpagawa nun eh.
Actually, hindi. Bigay lang yun.
Pero kung ibibenta mo siya, magkano kaya?
I don't know, sister ko may alam. Hindi kasi ako nag-impression pagdating may sister yung lahat.
May tanong lang ako, Abel. Di ba naging magkaibigan nga kayo? Gusto ko lang malaman kung anong klase bang kaibigan si Maharlika? Kung siya ay... Sorry po kasi yun ang tawag ko sa kanya. Sorry po. Ano po siyang uri ng kaibigan nung siya po ay inyong kakilala at nakatira siya sa inyo?
Kasi nag-reach out siya sa akin. So ako naman that time, wala akong... Kung sino yung pupunta sa akin at naniniwala sa akin, buong puso kong i-accept yun. So siya naman is naging... okay naman siya. Naging okay siya. Siyempre may nagdadalawang isip din ako. Pero kaya, hindi lahat ng kinukwento ko sa kanya is buong buhay ko. Yung mga konti lang, pag nag-open lang kami about sa ako nga, ganyan. Yun lang, pero definitely yung buong buhay ko. Wala ko na kwento sa kanya.
Mabait po ba siya? Matawag?
Yeah, okay. Ako, ganyan naman ako as long as nawa kang ginagawa sa akin masama, mabait ka. Ngayon may ginawa siya, hindi okay. Hindi mo na siya.
Tanong ko lang, no? Saan ba nagmula itong parang pang-aaway sa inyo ni Maharlika?
Actually, hindi ko po alam kung saan ang galing. Attorney.
As I've said, the first published defamatory statement against Abel happened in August 24 of 2023. Yun yung una natin nalaman na negative ng statements. Why that statement was made, I have theories or something. Please allow me not to discuss those theories.
Okay.
If this case goes to jury trial, we will have discovery procedures. Kasi sa US kasi may discovery procedure. Buksan natin lahat ng email, ng text messages, correspondence with other people, and it may shed light what is the motive behind why these statements were made. Because it came as a surprise, a real surprise, dating mong friend, and then suddenly, ayan, nagbigay ka daw ng luxury items. And it's completely untrue. So if it happened to you, wow, shocking. From somewhere na pinatira mo sa, pinapasok mo sa bahay mo. So that's a shocking incident. As to why, as of now we have theories, but I don't want to disclose them.
So you're filing this in the US?
We filed this, we already filed it, and the court already issued a summons against the defendant.
Wow.
Can you give Mr. Abel, can you give us a peek into the frame of mind ni Miss Maharlika? Kasi recently I've seen clips of her, parang napaka-rapid niya. Do you think parang may konting problema siya? When I watch her clips, parang kulang na lang, umikot yung ulo niya.
Kaya nga,
I've
Marlo,
seen Amber Heard versus them. Kanya-kanya silang expert witness on professional talkers who will evaluate the mental state of a person at the time.
kaya nga po,
So, it will be
maharlok-aloka ang
better
tawag
for
ko.
us to also resort to that. No? We ask a professional on mental health, on mental state, kung anong opinion niya. And of course, okay, we cannot, I think we are not qualified no, kung anong nasa, it will be better, sir, if we wait for trial and we are given the chance to have an expert on mental status examine the defendant.
Thank you very much.
Simple po ba yung cease and desist? Possible po ba yung cease and desist to stop Maharlika from further defaming your client? Meron po bang ganun sa US?
Possible, but again, very difficult. And the answer is similar to the earlier question. The US was a very strong First Amendment rights, and they frown upon prior restraint. No? Yung prior restraint, di mo pa nga alam anong sasabihin ko, pinasis at disis na. So, as a free society with very strong freedom of speech values, that might be very difficult. But if it's possible, yes, that's possible, but very difficult to obtain.
Question to Rosabel. Sir, what do you think the reason why na suddenly in-involve yung pangalan mo ni Maharlika dun sa
Si attorney.
do you think is there any person behind Maharlika to accuse you or say something bad about you?
As I've said during the preliminaries, we would welcome and try to accommodate your questions. But if it's a question that will affect litigation strategy or the outcome of the case, please do forgive us. We will not answer. Basta kung sagutin natin yan, makamalakit kami sa litigation strategy. But please take note of that question. After trial, sasagutin natin yan. Okay. I hope to see you again after
Yes,
trial.
yes. Excited po
More of
kami.
each other.
Abel, question lang, ano lang, no?
Mike, Tony, thanks.
Wait lang, sagot lang to.
Mami po.
Mike.
Ano ba?
Mike.
Di ba sabi ni kasi ni Maharlika na siya daw yung nagpasikat sa'yo. Ano yung ano mo doon? Nasabi mo doon?
I started designing when I was 17. So, nagkaroon ako ng show in abroad na mga 1995. So, I think parang hindi naman okay na sabihin na siya nagpasikat sa akin. At least, kayo siguro makakapagsabi kung sino ako. So, hindi ko alam kung siya nagpasikat sa akin. Thank you so much. Pero sa akin kasi, matagal kong pinaghirapan yung pangalan ko. Ang dami-dami kong pinagdaanan para makarating kung saan man ako ngayon. Kung 100 steps ang aakyatin ko is naka 50 na siguro ako. Kaya hindi ko hahayaan na para dito lang mapunta yung pinaghirapan ko.
I'd also like to answer that question, not as your lawyer, but as your friend, from Fun and Ben. Almost 30 years ago, I attended a debut of a very beautiful lady with very fine taste. That lady wore an unveiled dress. So, Papa was already someone during that time. And how do I know that this lady has a fine taste? Because many years later, she became my wife.
Ito no. Meron bang si Abel, meron siyang US lawyer.
I'm a lawyer.
American.
Kahit hindi
So, ano na?
I
Meron pa naman lang, hindi ako attorney.
Fine. I know US federal law.
Kasi baka raw may may mga...
We have a collaborating counsel in California. And please do also, I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce our US counsel, Cindy, my good friend. Cindy is no less than the managing partner of Dwayne Morris Los Angeles. It's a huge law firm with 20 plus officers in the US. So we're dealing with high caliber lawyer. She was meeting awarded, and we met each other in an awarding ceremony in the American Bar Association. So if you have a copy of the complaint, you'll see there that it was signed by Cindy. And Cindy is a top-notch lawyer.
Okay, Abel, tanong ko lang, kamusta yung ni FL ngayon, ni Ate Lisa?
Actually, hindi naman kami nag-uusap ni FL. Client ko siya. That's professional. Yung usapan namin very professional lang. So, hindi rin ako nagsusumblang kung ano kasi ayoko na lang. Alam mo na. So, wala kaming communication about this.
Thank you.
And anong reaction yung support na nakukuha mo sa showbiz friends and clients?
Actually, it's a very good question. Well, yung mga taong matagal ko ng kaibigan sa showbiz, kilala naman nila ako kung sino ako. So, they sending me a prayers. Sabi na kaya mo yan, mas kilala ka namin. Nakakatuwa kasi yung mailbox ko sa Facebook and Instagram and sa social media. Lahat sila, 95% is supporting kung ano yung ginagawa ko. Kasi ever since, kilala nila ako kung sino. At wala akong tinatago sa lahat. Kung ine-interview ako, wala akong tinatago. Kasi ako to eh. So hindi ko kailangan mag-pretend kung sino ako. So may mga negative na nagsisend sa akin. Pero sabi ko parang 31 millions. So 1% lang ng muscle o negative. So hindi ako bothered sa kanila.
Abel, do you have a message to Maharlika?
No.
Mostly, expected siguro ng mga against sa inyo na baka sabihin ng iba na inutusan kayo ng part ng politics.
Wala po. Wala. This is initiative po ng aming pamilya. And then my sister is here, si Angel, kasi nadadamay po yung pamilya rin nila. I'm with my sister since magkabata pa kami, talagang wala talaga kami. Kaya hanggang ngayon, support. Nakilala ni Maharlika ng sister ko, dinala ko pa siya sa Tagaytay. We eat, nag-lunch namin. In-accept siya sa namin bilang kaibigan talaga. Bilang tao, bilang kaibigan. Kasi may families, religious kasi kami. So parang pag pumunta sa amin ng isang tao na bukas loob naman namin tao. So, yun.
Well, may nagtatanong dito, totoo ba na sa episode dito, totoo ba na ginawa daw, pinabibili daw kayo ni Maharlika ng pagkain niya noon?
Actually, hindi pinabibili, pinibigyan namin siya ng food.
Okay.
Nagluluto yung sister ko at dinadala sa kanya.
Tanong lang po, kasi kilala po kayo na supporter. Kilala kayo na supporter ni PBBM. So, at si Maharlika kasi ang tawag ko sa kanya. Sige, Maharlika na lang. Si Maharlika naman ay kilala na ngayon na anti-PBBM. So, may nagtatanong lang, baka naman inaatake kayo dahil sa politika. At baka naman may nagkukumpas.
That's possible, and that's also related to my earlier answer that what is the motive behind these attacks? We don't want to speculate this early, but that's all possible. There are various possibilities, and please do understand with us if we invoke the Fifth Amendment, right? Kasi that can affect the litigations.
Are there any more questions to Abel or to Attorney Baklan?
Simple lang naman, no? Tapos sa
So, ayun, tuloy na natin
May
po.
question pa ako, last question. Tatanong ko lang, Abel, kung pupunta po ba kayo sa US para makaharap sa siya?
if this case goes to trial, well, we need to go to court to see what the witness said.
Ano po kaya inyong first reaction pag nakita niyo siya? Anong first reaction niyo? Sana nasa likod niyo ako para ako yung taga. Joke lang.
Kailangan niyo po.
And for the truth, we'd like for the truth to come out. That's the reason why we fight the case. Hindi dahil sa vengeance or hate, but just to hear Abel's good name.
Correct.
Because maraming nagsasabi na, why do you keep silent? Because I know you're that type of guy, that you are not going na katapakan natin ang hate with hate, revenge with revenge, and fury with fury. When I saw you in your office when I was interviewing, I saw you working diligently, peacefully, and I saw in your work exudes peace, harmony, and resilience. But even in this crazy world that we were being attacked, you were just focusing on work to produce work that are artistic and shows this one. Hindi personal, hindi ko na, nung I was interviewing him, hindi ko nakita sa kanya na bakbakan natin yan kasi walang yan. I always saw in him peace. And this is the reason why we found it, simply for the truth to come out. And I would also like to thank you for attending this because this will make our job easier for the truth to come out. Kasi maraming nagsasabi, magsalita ka naman kasi ano ba talaga nangyayari dyan? Here it is. We simply want the truth to come out. Walang binigay na relo. Wala kaming natanggap pinakitaw na pera from DPWH. And the visa, both Schengen and US visas, were issued regularly. Those facts are very easy to establish. We will establish that before our US jury.
Well, message ng mga kababayan natin, sa likod mo daw sila, support sila sa'yo.
Yes. Of course, maraming salamat po sa inyo. Nakakataba ng puso kasi bilang isang taga Bicol, patuloy na nangangarap pa rin. Hindi lang para sa akin, kundi para sa ating mga Pilipino. Ako naman bilang isang designer is, kaya nandito pa rin ako kasi gusto kong isulong yung mga pamana sa atin ng ating mga ninuno na kultura at sining. So yun ang focus ko ngayon. Kaya lang may mga bagay tayong tumatalikod na kailangan harapin. Pero ito isang yugto naman ito ng aking buhay na kailangan pag natapos ito, isang yugto ulit na para sa ating mga Pilipino at para sa ating mga weavers at mga embroidery, para naman sa kanila talaga itong laban.
Okay.
Last one.
Ngayon sabi ng mga viewers namin, nasa likod mo daw sila.
Maraming
Ano rin mga vloggers nasa likod mo?
Alam ko naman yun. Salamat.
Last na lang, kasi sabi ng isa kong viewer dito, sana daw gusto lang makita may kulong.
Normy.
Ano ko may gulong?
Makulong daw.
Okay.
Possible po ba?
There's that possible. But again, kasi mga nakausap, si Abel yung client. Tapos kung ano ang gusto ni Abel is really just for his name to be cleared, for the truth to come out. And yung pagkulong, even if remotely possible, hindi ko rin gagawin ng sila lawyer. Kasi wala akong instruction. Kulong ang kulong talaga yan, kulong talaga. So, we won't do that. Our main objective, our main and primary objective is really for Abel's good name and reputation to remain. Because nasisira na siya. With an accusation that mangangamkam ka and corrupt ka is serious. And there are instances when random people, they just really it because of these defamatory lines. So, wala kang kulong, wala. Because the client did not instruct him na pangkulong.
Sorry po, wala daw kulong. Ayaw,
They will not
ayaw po
be
ni Abel.
working in that litigation style.
Attorney,
Last-
ay, sorry. Follow up na, no? Dito ba sa Pilipinas, yung ginawa ni Harlika, even though nasa US siya, and then bawal din naman, like, cyber libel dito sa Pilipinas, is it possible na magsampa rin ng kaso dito si Abel, kahit na nandun siya, and then is it possible din na mapapunta siya dito sa Pilipinas or like using the extradition? Marami kasi mga Filipino nagtatanong, so mas mabuti na ang sasagot po kaysa ng abogado.
Okay. Possible ba na makasuhan siya? Possible. Possible na mag-issue ng warrant of arrest. But the challenge now is how to enforce that warrant of arrest because laws are territorial in nature, especially criminal laws. So, doon ang magiging challenge. You mentioned about extradition. Defamation is not among the extraditable offenses.
Sorry po. Ito last ko na to. Sabi ni Maharlika, ex-BFF ka niya, di ba? So dati ka ng BFF. Ito yung tanong ko. Paano kung magmakaawa si Maharlika sa'yo at iulong mo lahat ng to?
Siguro, for lang hindi ko alam. Kasi bilang maka-Diyos, hindi ko alam. Kaya attorney ko yan.
Whether a case should be settled or not actually is the final say of the client. A lawyer has no say whether to pursue the case or settle. Sinabi ng client, settle. Kahit yung abogado gustong-gustong bakbakan natin ang tuloy natin, a lawyer has to settle and follow the client as a matter of legal ethics. Okay, but we will think about it. As I said, most cases are settled 70%, 80%. Most cases in the US are settled even before the filing of an answer. Okay? So yun pala, discuss ko na. Wala kasi may nagtanong. What are the possible next phases? Next phases as either one, the defendant files an answer, refuting, trial tayo, labas natin yung evidence natin. Two, just ignore it. May nagtanong dyan, and in which case, there will be a judgment by default. Three, mag-initiate ng negotiation at settlement. In fact, it's a requisite of so most cases are settled. So good. Those are the three main next phases.
Sir, last na lang. Ano kaya pag nakipag-ayos si Maharlika sa iyo?
Ayun na yung
Pwede naman patawarin, pero kailangan talaga dalain. Kasi wala eh. Uulit-ulitin sa iba yan.
Magkakabayan na lang
Nasa likod mo ako, Abel. Ako ang guardian angel.
Forgiveness and pagbabago rather than parusa.
Eh? Pero ang swerte-swerte niya, yung mga turn na.
Abel, I have a question ako. Naalala ko lang, sino yung binanggit ni Maharlika na bata sa vlog? About doon sa passport.
Actually, isa pa to sa pinaka nag-file kami ng case kasi nadamay niya yung aking pamangkin na walang kaalam-alam dito. Na tinatawag pa siya tita. So, ito talaga yung hindi namin pwedeng palagpasin kasi kung pinoprotektahan niya yung apo niya, ganun din namin pinoprotektahan yung pamangkin.
Below the belt because that child was specifically named in one of the blocks. The child was named in one of the blocks. So that's foul. Innocente yung bata. No? And in a defamation case, as I've already said, the next generation will either reap your good name or suffer the bad name of a person. So in this case, sinisiraan si Abel. And the negative and yung destroyed reputation niya will be suffered by the younger generation. And one of that is yung bata na pinag-usapan natin dito. So maybe that's one reason na medyo nahirapan kaya ako patawad na. So that's also one of the main driving force bakit sinabi natin na enough is enough. We have to clear Abel's good name and his family's good name.
Thank you.
Question again. Okay. one last. Abel, nabanggit din na Maharlika na sino ang totoong nagpakilala sa inyo kay Small Loudon at si Abel lumalabas dun sa vlog niya, siya ang parang nagbibigbil sa iyo. Sorry.
That might affect the litigation strategy, and we will answer that if this case, after this case, we will answer.
Okay.
Well, ano yung lesson na natutunan mo dito sa pagkaya? May lesson.
Actually, ako kasi yung tao na kahit sino yung lumapit, nangangailangan, tutulungan. Nagkataon lang ng that time in 2020, nung ako'y cancel ng mga tao because I'm supporting the president. Doon siya lumapit sa akin. So, ang lesson ko na natutunan is bukas pa rin tayo sa lahat ng bagay. Pwede natin i-accept lahat ng taong pumupunta, pero kailangan natin muna silang parang kailangan muna natin silang kilalanin yung pagkatao nila. Isa sa pinakamasakit din na nangyari sa akin is binigay ko lahat bilang tao, bilang pumasok ng, kasi ako yung tao rin na pag binigay ko lahat ibibigay ko kasi mahirap ako magpapunta sa condo ko, mahirap din ako magpapunta sa shop ko, at mahirap din na introduce ko siya sa family ko like my sister. Pero lahat yun na pagdaanan ko at dinala ko siya doon. So ibig sabihin, open ako sa kanya. Ang pagkakamali ko lang at hindi ko pinagsisisihan. At marami rin ako natutunan. Yun lang po.
Just like to add to that, if you imagine yourself in the shoes of a player, may mga culture tayo na pag pinapasok mo sa bahay mo, ibig sabihin, trusted mo na talaga. Close mo na talaga. So that's the level of openness that Abel gave to Junior. Pero pagkakilala sila, sinabi pa ng DFL, wala man lang warning, Abel, nagbigay ka pa talaga nung nag-serve time base na yan. All of a sudden, may ganyan lang. So, you can just imagine the pain and the pressure that you will feel. Yes, po. Okay na.
Okay, meron ka ng closing line sa US?
Wala.
Wala pa?
Wala po.
Soon?
Hindi, wala sa isip ko. Dito na lang sila umorder para makatulong din sa akin.
Manig nyo
Attorney, what if daw, this question is in behalf of my viewer. So, paano daw po kung sila ang mag-file ng yung mga netizen para ma-deport daw si Maharlika?
Oo nga, possible.
Is it possible?
Report on what grounds?
May petition.
Sa presidente.
May petition daw siya.
As I understand, Maharlika is a US citizen. Hindi basta-basta mali-deport because she's a
US citizen.
US laws.
So hindi na siya Filipino. Din-announce na niya ang pagiging Filipino.
Pero sabi na kanina pa-deport. Yung pagkakagalit ng mga...
Sa langgam. Hindi, kawawa si presidente. Kasi FL, grabe. Gigigil ako sa kanya.
Do we have any more questions from the audience?
Good.
Wala.
Actually, ito na lang, yung tanong na lang sa akin kung i-stated kasi ng kawawa yung FL. Actually, kawawa yung maraming tao na hindi naman po mahirapan kasi sa US. Suddenly, auto kasi na may nagtanong sa akin. Hindi ka ba matatakot na kunin yung case na yan? Actually, marami akong possible collaborating counsel who refuse to take the case because of the toxic nature ng defendant. Baka sila yung maging target. So there's a short answer to that, but I'd like a longer version. If you rephrase the question, attorney, gusto mo bang maging target ni Claire, mabolja? The answer to that is definitely no. I don't want to be the target of those kinds of statements, of those kind of attacks. Because I know how hurtful it is. Binabasa ko pa lang ng transcript, hindi ko mga nakikita yung video mo. It's very painful, and I know ako binabasa ko lang how much more to Abel is really the target here. So I don't like to be the target. I don't like that culture to be the norm na sa mga eskwelahan ng children natin, ganun na ang nagiging norms na crash na natin sa atin ngayon. I don't like that to be the norm. But I won't shy away and I won't run away from my responsibility to defend who are those who suppress, especially for offending me. Kahit mamodya ka po. If that's really what will happen, I'm ready to accept that. But I don't.
Pero di ba, attorney, if ever na bodjakin ka rin niya, pwede kasuhan natin siya ulit.
That's a possibility.
Diba?
In the Trump case.
Trump case. Attorney, kung nagawa po ang topic mo.
Topic na ngayon.
Lalok ako bukas.
Si attorney, nakabukang-kang.
Attorney, kakalkalin yung buhay nyo. Hanggang maliit pa kayo, hanggang teenager, hanggang ngayon.
Sabi ko, wala akong tinatapos.
Pag yun na lang panoorin, attorney, kami ng bama.
That's a possibility. But again, the case is really about executive. It's really about someone to face responsibility and accountability of his actions for publishing defamatory remarks. And if she continues to do that, then there will be more responsibility.
Correct, di ba? Every time naman na mag-ano ka ng masama, pwede naman i-dagdag sa kaso niya yun.
Yes.
So, yun. Okay na ako?
We're good.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for helping us spread the truth. Because our friends in the media sector, the bloggers, you are instrumental in helping us spread the truth.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you din po.
Salamat.
Thank you.
On behalf of Mr. Macudio, we are very grateful for your presence. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yan, sa mga kaibigan narinig na, no? So, ayan, ongoing na yung kaso ng mga kaibigan, at siya,
Tapos ito ang
press.
Bye everyone.
Kaya pag natin sa
Of course, naturally, the defendant in this case is based in Los Angeles, California. She stated in her video that she's based in Los Angeles, California. And that's also one of the reasons why we chose the U.S. District Court in California to file the case before the U.S. District Court in California. Thank you.
Salamat po, sir. Salamat po. Mga guys, ito palang si Mahar Loca-Loca ay hindi na pala siya Filipino citizen. In short, mga kaibigan, she denounced her citizenship as a Filipino. Mas pinili po niya ang maging American citizen.